called Stakon here, and in today's video I want to demonstrate some basic controls for battles. Whether you're a beginner wanting to learn how to play battles or a veteran, I encourage you to watch until the end, as some of these controls were new to me even after spending hundreds of hours playing the game. First up, camera controls. The very basics: WASD keys to move your camera, QE to rotate left or right, V and C keys to pan the camera up or down, and X and Y keys to elevate or lower your camera. You can also use your middle mouse button and scroll wheel, scrolling up or down, elevates or lowers the camera. And pressing the middle mouse button moves the camera in the direction of the cursor. Finally, double clicking on units moves your camera to those units. Alternatively, double clicking on the ground moves your camera towards where you double clicked. Now on to controlling your units. Pressing left click on a unit will select it, and pressing right click on a unit will move it. Press and hold right click to change the unit's width. If you want to go wide, you drag towards either the right or the left side. Dragging the unit towards the left side will have it facing the camera, as you can see. And dragging the unit towards the right side will have it facing away from the camera. Now if you want to move a unit in the formation you've given it with the width you desire, you can press right click or Alt and left click. Pressing Alt and left click on an empty space will have you move that unit in the formation you have selected. Now selecting another unit, as you can see, and pressing right click will have both units next to each other. Again, press and hold right click to drag the units to your desired width. Now if you want to keep this formation that I have just put them in, select both units, hold on Alt and press left click on the ground. As you can see, if I drag my mouse, I will move the units in the formation I have put them in. You can use this to make artificial gaps from where your range units that require a line of sight can shoot from. Again, press Alt, left click on the ground, and you can move them wherever you want. If you press right click or press right click and drag, you will again break this formation. Now press the G button to group your units. Grouped units, once again, if you press right click or right click and drag, you will break their formation. If you want to rotate these units in this formation, press Alt and Control at the same time. As you can see, you can rotate and move your unit formation. If this is too much of a hassle, you can always just lock the group, and now no matter where or how you click, the unit formation will never break. Now on to the very basics of combat. Ranged units, as you can see, will have a target once hovering above an enemy, and melee units will have a sword. The target icon indicates they will attack with a ranged attack, and the sword icon indicates they will attack with melee attack. Now below your army panel you can see unit commands that you can give. Pressing fire at will stop your units from shooting without explicit orders. Skirmish mode will see your units flee from enemies, and withdraw will see your units withdraw from the battlefield. Now, set formation is a fairly useless command, and if you know how to move units properly, you do not need it. Hold guard means that your units will not pursue enemies. This is especially good for ranged units, so they do not break formation. Group we have already covered. Now, halt or backspace cancels any orders you have issued to the unit. As you can see, pressing backspace cancels the attack move. Now finally, the F key, or the two swords crossing below the army panel, means you can toggle melee for ranged units. This is especially good for hybrid units which have a melee attack and a ranged attack. And if you do not want them to use their ranged attack, you will press the F key, or the two swords crossing below. And if you do not want them to use their ammunition at all, you can always just hold fire. So pressing B and F keys for your hybrid units will see them not use their ammunition and go into melee immediately. Units that have been locked in a group will attack as a group. So just keep that in mind. They will not break formation even when given an attack order. Pressing the space key will pop up the battlefield overlays, so that if I select the Kadai Destroyer here, you can see the exclamation marks above our enemies, green indicating it is an easy opponent, whereas red indicates it is a difficult opponent. Aside from that, you can see what else the battle overlays provide you. Character auras, where units are facing, move paths, fire arcs, unit types, lord and hero portraits, unit hit points, leadership, ammunition, their status, whether they're marching or walking, and whether they're tired or not. And you can also click the hide foliage, so when you press space button in dense forests, the trees will lose their leaves and you can get a better view of the battlefield. Now, aside from the space button, pressing the I button or next to your character portraits down to the left side will bring up the unit info panel. Here you can see your unit stats and abilities. Now, units that are in a locked group will try and keep their formation no matter their speed. So just keep in mind, the faster units will always wait for the slower units to catch up. Finally, for battles, we have direct area spells such as Flock of Doom, Soul Stealer, and Final Transmutation spells. Once casting a spells, you will notice that they tend to lock on to a single unit when hovering above their models or their banner, potentially denying you the most optimal cast. So how you overcome this is by pressing Alt, and it will no longer lock on to any units, allowing you to cast the spell as you see fit. This also works for artillery units. Pressing Alt and left clicking sees your artillery units fire in your selected area. And now onto some aesthetics you can do with the camera. Pressing the N button will see the camera zoom in to the battlefield, and scrolling the mouse wheel will see it zoom further in or out based on your preferences. Now, using hotkeys on your keyboard will see you go out of this zoomed in state, so the best thing to do is to press and hold the middle mouse button to adjust the view, as that will not see you move out. And finally, pressing the K button, we'll see the UI disappear. And now you can get those glorious screenshots. And for a bit of fun, you can insert yourself in the artillery. Just press the artillery you want, press the insert button, and you can take control of it. Don't mind my aim, I do not do this very often. You can insert into any unit in the game, but it is most fun when you take control of artillery pieces. I hope you have learned something new from this video. If you enjoyed it, please do consider subscribing for future content. Thank you for watching, and until next time.